you come see about me? I'll be alone, dancing, you know it, baby. Tell me your troubles and doubts, giving me everything inside and out. And love strange, so real in the dark. Think of the tender things that we were working on. Slow change may pull us apart when the light gets into your heart, baby. Don't you forget about me. Don't you forget about me. Will you stand above me? Look my way, but never love me. Rain keeps falling down.
The Breakfast Club, written and produced in 1985 by John Hughes, and follows the story of 5 teenagers from different high school cliques who are at school on a Saturday to serve detention due to their behavior. The students pass the time by arguing, listening to music, smoking marijuana, and gradually opening up about their home lives and the reasons for being in detention. Claire's popularity subjects her to intense peer pressure while her bickering parents use her against each other. She receives detention for skipping school to go shopping. Brian is under such pressure from his parents to get good grades that he contemplated suicide after getting an F in shop class and was sent to detention for bringing a flare gun to school to kill himself. John, also known as Bender, reveals the abuse he and his mother suffers from his father, and is serving detention for pulling a false fire alarm. Andrew, intimidated by his father to succeed in sports, was given detention for taping a student's buttocks together in an attempt to win his teammates and his father's approval. Allison is a compulsive liar with negligent parents, consistently stealing things to use should she ever run away from home, and admits that she showed up to detention for lack of anything better to do. Despite their differences, the students realize they all face similar problems. Andrew and Allison bond over their complex relationships with their parents. Brian and Claire share the same anxiety over being virgins, although the group suspects their new friendship will end once detention is over.
Well, first up, we got Claire, the rich, stuck-up girl. She's just someone who's well off. She's very spoiled. You could tell just by her attitude. She's, into the fashion and all that. She's very privileged. I mean, she's in detention to begin with for skipping school to go shopping, and then she has her dad tell her that he'll make up for it by taking her shopping again. That just says a lot about her. And she's probably one of the biggest reasons why there's conflict within the group to begin with. She's very, she has this attitude. She's always in a verbal confrontation with somebody. She kind of despises the other people because of their social cliques, and she constantly brings up how much people know her and how popular she is and this and that. And with all that being said, though, as the movie progresses, she does kind of become more vulnerable and talks about her insecurities, and I think because of that, it helps resolve the conflict and kind of just bridges everyone together. The nerd Brian, he's just a smart guy. He's very intelligent, academically successful. He's held to these standards by his parents where he has to pretty much get straight A's, and that kind of stresses him out. And I believe he gets an F in one of his classes, his woodshop class, and that causes him to bring a flare gun to kill himself, and that's why he finds himself in detention. But besides that, he's the opposite of causing conflict within the group. He's kind of the opposite. He's more the peacemaker. He avoids direct confrontation, and he prefers just to be neutral, kind of keep to himself. Typical nerd. But he does display his intelligence and his problem-solving abilities, and he kind of helps the group members understand each other more, and he helps them work through their differences, and he's really one of the big pieces on how they were able to come together.
when Allison is first introduced to the film, she gets out of her parents' car and they kind of just drive away before she can say anything. And later in the film, she admits that her parents ignore her, which is kind of the only backstory we get into Allison's character. She is shy, quiet, introverted, and a little weird. She is shown to be a compulsive liar and has the tendency to steal things. She stole Brian's wallet and Bender's knife, and she admitted that the only reason she was in detention was because she had nothing better to do.
Andrew from the Breakfast Club is seen as this stereotypical varsity player from high school. They're pretty cool, and they wear the big varsity jackets and just make sure that they are seen as a varsity player for whatever sport. That's how he is, and the reason why he plays sports is also because his father, in the beginning of the movie, his father stated that he would also do pranks and also play around, goof around during his high school, but he would never get caught, and his son did, which is why Andrew is in detention, because he was goofing around, he was doing all these pranks, and he got caught. Also, it seems that his biggest insecurity is not getting some sort of scholarship or making his father proud. As we see multiple times in this movie, that he gets crap because he's a varsity player, whether because he can't push something full of books, or because he can't make his dad proud because he gets caught when he does pranks, and also how he talks to all the people when he's talking to them in the classroom.
Here's my impression of life at Big Bry's house. Son? Yeah, Dad? How's your day, pal? Great, Dad. How's yours? Super. Say, son, how'd you like to go fishing this weekend? Great, Dad. But I've got homework to do. That's all right, son. You can do it on the boat. Gee. Dear, isn't our son swell? Yes, dear. Isn't life swell? Oh. Oh.
All right. What about your family?
Oh, mine?
Yeah.
It's real easy. Stupid, worthless, no good, goddamn freeloading son of a bitch, red mouth, know-it-all asshole jerk. You forgot ugly, lazy, and disrespectful. Shut up, bitch! Go fix me a turkey pot pie. What about you, Dad? Fuck you. No, Dad. What about you? Fuck you! No, Dad! What about you? Fuck you! Is that for real? You want to come over sometime?
That's bullshit. It's all part.
So the scene starts off with Brian and Bender kind of talking to each other. Bender makes fun of Brian's home life, about how perfect he is, how much his parents love him.
Yeah.
And Andrew later asks Bender, "Oh, what's your name?" And Bender proceeds to show the rest of the group how much of a really traumatizing life he has. Not traumatizing, but very bad life that he has back home with his abusive father and his mother, who doesn't really care about him all that much. And we see
that Bender is the way he is because of how his parents are with him when he's at home with everyone. I think at home he experiences a lot of violence, a lot of abuse, verbal abuse from both of his parents, and that's why he acts like that with everyone in the group. And I believe he mainly targets Brian because they're
like opposite, where Brian comes from more of a perfect household because of the way he was brought up, and I think Bender specifically targets him because he's jealous and he's just showing hate towards Brian, because in reality, deep down inside, that's probably the life he wish he had growing up.
I'm actually going to have to disagree with that statement. I don't think that Bender is jealous of Brian. I think he is rather just projecting his own life experiences onto Brian. And this is actually an example of misperceived differences where Bender is actually taking all this information about Brian and the way he dresses, and he gets good grades, and he's taking that and kind of inaccurately interpreting it, which is the definition of misperceived differences.
Chicks cannot hold their smoke. That's what it is.
Do you know how popular I am? I'm so popular. Everybody loves me so much at this school.
Poor baby.
In this scene, we see a type of strategy for conflict reduction, specifically the third-party constellation, with the third party being cannabis, as this helps release stress and reduces the tension amongst the group, and you could see them actually get along for a short period of time.
As we also see them use, as they smoke together, we see that they really just completely, they mellow out, they become it almost looks like they've been friends for a while, even while under the influence. But it also just, it brings out this joyful side of things, and it relieves all of this former violence in the group. As we see with Bender, he starts messing around with Brian, and Brian's making these goofy sounds and facial expressions. He has completely forgotten about all this anger that was in the group before him.
I was just thinking, I know it's kind of a weird time, but I was just wondering, what is going to happen to us on Monday when we're all together again? I consider you guys my friends. I'm not wrong, am I?
No.
So on Monday, what happens?
Are we still friends, you mean? We're friends now, that is?
Yeah.
You want the truth?
Yeah, what's the truth?
I don't think so.
With all of us, or just John?
With all of you.
That's a real nice attitude, Claire.
Oh, be honest, Andy. If Brian came walking up to you in the hall on Monday, what would you do? Picture this, you're there with all the sports. I know exactly what you'd do. You'd say hi to him, and when he left, you'd cut him all up so your friends wouldn't think that you really liked him.
No way.
Okay. What if I came up to you?
Same exact thing.
You are a bitch!
In the scene, we see Brian ask a pretty big question while they are all kind of venting to each other about why they're there, and how they see each other, and how they overall think about each other. And this is probably the most honest part of the movie when it comes to the characters and how they present their overall opinions. When Brian asks well, what are we going to be on Monday? This brings up a really good question, because he feels that they were kind of forced to be the quote-unquote friends that they've become, So he like really does consider them friends towards the end of the movie, and he hopes to see the sort of same response. Unfortunately, he doesn't quite get that from the rest of them, but he does hope for the best when it comes to their friendships in the group.
This scene also shows the model of the conflict process. We see the stage 2 in this model, as we see Claire being very honest of what she thinks is going to happen on Monday, and that leads Bender to go to stage 3 and show his behavior as very angry and cussing her out because he just didn't like what she said of her being honest.
So in this scene, we see a really good example of conflicts of value. Claire very clearly values her public image, the way that she is perceived by everyone else, her friends, people at school, much greater than Brian. And Brian values staying friends with everyone much more than Claire does. And this is where their values clash and the conflict arises. And it's not just Brian and Claire, it's everyone else in the group is kind of, their values are in different places, and that's what is creating this conflict. And yeah, this is conflict of value.